Look, I would choose my child's father because we can make more children. This is an impossible choice. You also have to understand that my hierarchy in my life.
I agree.
God, my man,
husband,
my children,
everything else.
And also, I just want to emphasize spouse.
Your baby.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video. Y'all know what to do. Don't forget to get on Amazon, get that desired nutrition, that focus, get that pre-workout for that pump, that energy, and that focus. Get that today. It's in stock right now. All right, let's get into the video.
Who you putting first, your son, your father, or your husband?
My son. I'm putting my son first, my father, then my husband.
My son, and then my daddy, and then my husband.
My son,
And then who?
my father, then my husband.
Why the husband last? Let me know something.
Because regardless if me and him together or not, my daddy and my son gonna be there. So fuck it.
Your
Son and husband, or my son, my husband, then my daddy.
My son, my father, my husband, yeah.
Okay, why y'all put husband last? Let me know something.
I love my daddy and I love my son. I can't.
I birthed my son. Why wouldn't he be first? And my daddy, like, man, it's my daddy. Come on, you my husband. Husband, son, father. I feel like if I get married, my husband is supposed to be like the head of the house. That's supposed to be, the leader or whatever. And then, yeah.
Who you putting first, your son, your father?
So you have one woman, one girl. I don't know if this is a high school or what this is. Maybe it's a college or something like that. So you have one female saying that they would put their husband first, then their son, then their father. I personally think that's the correct order. But this is where a lot of young ladies have things mixed up. And it's a lot of, especially like nowadays, man. There's a lot of, and I know people personally, man, that they rather have a kid than have a husband. They're so invested in having a kid. Maybe that biological time clock is ticking and it's so important for them to have a kid, but they don't think it's important for them to have a husband. They're doing things ass backwards and they wonder why they end up single, struggling with the kid, hoping to get married. Now they want to fall in love. Now all of a sudden they want to fall in love. They want to be in love. They want a man to take care of them and all this other shit. Why didn't you focus on getting the man, the proper man that was for you, instead of just choosing anybody to have a kid with? That's what I want to know. And I don't know where they get this mentality from. And these are supposed to be, and I bet you a lot of them are going to say they're Christians or they're God-fearing women. And they're going to claim this and that about religion, but they don't follow anything that the religion tells them. The last girl said it all. She said, I feel like my husband should be the man of the household, the leader. That's what he's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Even in the chain in religion, it's supposed to be God over man, man over woman, woman over children, So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where they get this mentality from.
Scenario: you're married with a child.
Yes.
You and your husband and your child go out on your sailboat.
Okay.
The sailboat gets struck. It's sinking.
Yeah.
Who are you going to save? The child or your husband?
Look, I would choose my child's father because we can make more children. This is an impossible choice. You also have to understand that my hierarchy in my life.
I agree.
God, my man,
husband,
my children,
everything else.
And also, I just want to emphasize spouse.
Your baby and your man is in the water.
Yeah.
Your baby look like a baby. Your man look like a grown man. I'm saving my baby. Like, I love my wife, but I just feel like my
What if she's incapacitated? What if she's knocked out?
I feel like she would be mad at me if I saved her. Another baby.
She would, but she would get over it because now you a single daddy.
As a man, I can't even go back and be like, oh yeah, I saved my wife. I let the baby die. Who am I gonna go tell that story to?
Everybody.
That sounds crazy.
Let me tell you this. This is why having an integrity point and barometer with self is so important. Because if somebody said to me, you let your kids die and you saved your husband, absolutely. Now, it's not to say that I wouldn't grieve, that I wouldn't be sad. I'd probably ask myself, did I make the right choice? Oh my God, are we ever going to have children again? You know, I'm getting up there in age. Having kids is hard. All of these things are real things, but I'm telling you right now, I don't care what anybody has to say about any decision that I made because I did it and I meant it.
Let's reverse situation.
Yes,
Husband,
yes.
You love so much.
Yes.
On that boat, and you and the baby.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you want him to do?
I would want him to save the child, but I would understand why he chose me.
You would be happy with him after he chose you, not the child?
This is such a challenging choice, but ultimately, my husband, I so recklessly trust my husband that in that moment, that's what made sense to him.
You can't.
And I might be mad.
Yeah.
I'm already geriatric. We might never be able to have kids again. And the grieving would be crazy for sure. But if he chose me over our children, there's a reason why. God's not done with me yet. People love the word until it's inconvenient, until there's judgment and bias around it. But when you think biblically, husband and wife should submit unto each other. You come first. You are the home front. You are the union. After God comes my husband. If I got to choose between my parents, whom I love, my mom is my very best friend, and my husband, I'm choosing my husband. And this is the problem. People are confusing marriage with being husband and wife. Those are two very different things.
Say that one more time.
Husband or wife means I am committed to this. I am submitted to the mission. I got you no matter what, under the eyes of God, through sickness and health, through all of the things that may come. That is my husband. Not I got married. Most people are just married, but they'll never experience what it means to be husband or wife. They're weak and they quit and they give up and they say, oh, well, it's just easier if I get divorced. So for me, when I have not a husband, but I have my husband, my God-sent husband, the husband that I have been waiting and praying for. When that is my guy and I make a commitment under God, he's first. I no longer belong to my father. I belong to my husband.
Damn, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's a tough one, man. I do like where she was going with that. That's really how you have to think about things. Now, the whole baby drowning and the husband drowning, which one you're gonna say first? Look, that's a hard choice. I think you're right either way. How about that? I think that's a good answer. I think you're right either way. Either one you go for first is right. But your husband is, I can see why you would choose your husband first. I get it. I can see why you would choose your wife first. So yeah, man, a lot of the younger generation, they're not going to understand that. They're absolute like, nah, man, my son come first and my daddy comes second. They would choose their daddy over their husband. If they had to choose, they would choose their. And if you're not feeling that way about your husband, then you should have never been married to him. Then you're just in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? That's not like she was saying, a husband and wife situation. You guys are just married. And most people are just married, and they're just in it to be in it for whatever reason. They'll choose anybody. They don't have any standards about what they want. All of a sudden they start getting standards when they become older and shit. And then, now they're looking for a good guy. They want a good man now. Whereas before, when you should have been working for a man in your early 20s, you should have been trying to get you a man then, so you can, have those kids early on in life. You can have a man earlier in life instead of you waiting until you're, 40 years old and you're a woman, not a man. Now, if you're a man that's 40 years old and you're trying to settle down, I get that, because your life basically just started. Your life basically just started at 40 years old. For most men, you know what I'm saying? You've worked hard enough. You spent 20 years working, and now you're at where you want to be in life, and now you're looking for a partner. I get that, whereas a woman, she doesn't work for 20 years up until she's 40. You know what I'm saying? She's going to start working now to get a man at 40. And it's already like, you're late in the game. I'm not saying it can't happen for you, but you're already late in the game. But anyway, yeah, to those young ladies out there, man, find you a husband, put your husband and put him first. When you find him, you better put him first. Everything else comes second after that. You know what I'm saying? What I mean, like in first as in a relationship status, you can put God first, then your husband. Your husband is next in line. You decided to marry him. Your father is no longer, he's third, he's fourth. You know what I'm saying? If you want to put your mom, you might want to put your mama in front of him. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he's not in the top 2. You know, if you have kids, your kids come next after that. You know, your husband, then your kids next. That's just how it goes. And then your parents can be next after that. You know, you guys got to kind of learn that and realize that in the beginning, you know, before you, if you don't feel that way about your man, you probably shouldn't be marrying him. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys agree with her? Do you guys agree, or do you agree with most of the young ladies that were at the college campus? Let me know in the comments how you feel. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all watching. See you in the next video. Peace.